Now we're recording. Hey, I'm Tim Allen. I am the instructor for DM75, which is Photoshop 1. This is introductory Photoshop. How many people here have ever used Photoshop before? All right, so we have some basic knowledge. We are going to go over the very basics. Phil, acting's down that way. We are in the control room of the TV studio, which is here on the GAF campus. There is a digital media lab, but they didn't update the Photoshop. So we're working on current and modern Photoshop, which will include some AI integration into that. So how many of you have created an image with AI? Oh, no one wants to admit that they've entered prompts into AI. Yeah, boo. We are Photoshoppers, but I will tell you, first and foremost, AI is here to stay. Hopefully, well, for now. And but what we are going to be doing is using AI that's integrated into Photoshop and making it better. An image that's just created by AI is no good. We want to use AI. It's a tool that we're going to be using to make things better. Yes.
So it's algorithmic AI instead of generative.
Well, there is generative AI in Photoshop as well. We'll talk about that and you can decide whether or not to use it. Ultimately, my idea or my philosophy is it's a tool that we can use, but whether or not you choose to use it, that's totally up to you. I personally use it as little as possible. And Photoshop has generative AI built into it as a way to shorten times. There's going to be times where I am like, hey, generate this background for me because I don't want to spend the 15 minutes. But it's not like, hey, make a unicorn flying around with a donkey or whatever. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take those two elements and then use AI to help enhance it. We'll talk more when we get there. But ultimately, my philosophy is this, okay? We're in a Photoshop class, so you're going to be doing Photoshop, right? I don't want you to turn in your project and have it just be a completely made up image. In fact, the way that I am judging your work is I am going to give you the files that you must work with in order to turn in each week. And we'll go over that. So there's actually files each week that when we come to class, you can download. Now, what's your name? Marie had a great question. Can I bring my own computer? Yes, you don't have to use the computer. In fact, we have desks over here that if you want to be in person, but also if you don't want to be in person, this is a hybrid flex class. So you're able to join via the Zoom. So I'm recording Zoom right now. No one is currently on Zoom. So if for any reason the bus doesn't work, your card doesn't work, join us on the Zoom. Okay. Also,
I'm sorry.
Yes. Go
Will
ahead.
you post these recordings?
You were 1 second ahead of me. No problem. I will tell you right now, I love being interrupted. 100%. I would love, like you say, Tim, and mid-sentence, it's great. As long as it's not like every sentence, okay? But yeah, I love questions. Please ask me questions. That's why I'm here. If you can't be here at this time or join during this time, and you have the ability to do Photoshop at your house, watch the lecture. The lectures get posted by the next day. You can watch the lectures and follow the Canvas shell and complete all of the assignments that way too. So if you don't ever want to come see me in person again, sorry, you're going to have to look at my face on the screen as I do the lecture. But my feelings will only be a little hurt that you had decided to do it online. Totally, I'm open to all modalities. I understand that learners learn in many different ways. Yes.
Can we have access to it if we come to class still and just want to use it to back up?
100%. It's all yours. So if you were here, if you want to go home and rewatch it, it'll be uploaded to YouTube with closed captionings and accessible in all ways so that like, hey, I sat here, I did all the work, but I work better hearing it again and again. Well, I will, when we go over the class, you'll see that I have this class designed for as many different types of learners as possible. So if you want to go home and just like watch me over and over again, great. Increase my YouTube views, okay? I think my normal lectures get in high teens, like we get digits of watches. So I upload and if you are all interested in film or television production, I record every single one of my lectures for all my classes in this way. So if you like and subscribe below. My YouTube channel, you can see that what I'm uploading for the other classes. And if that's something you're like, oh, I wonder if I want to take the film production class or the GAV TV class or even like the acting class down here, well, we're going to get front row seats for at any point you want to see what the acting class is doing, we stand up and take a look there. Okay. Any other questions before we move on? Because I do get distracted, but ultimately I'll come back to my thought, I think. Yes.
If we have like appointments, because I do have a couple coming up, as long as we let you know, it's that, because I don't want to.
You are hitting all of my yes. If you so basically for this class, all of you here, I'll meet you all and take your names. You get credit for coming to class today. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of us. There should be 11, so we're missing 4 of us in this class, small class, right? So yeah, we're definitely a smaller class. That's why we're in this room. Otherwise, we wouldn't be in this room because we have 10 stations. So if you want to join from Zoom and not be all bunched with us, but we're all going to be friends here at the end. That being said, if you, for whatever reason, I can't make it to class today, Tim, message me so I know that I'm aware that, because if you don't show up for a couple times, I will check in with you. By the end of class, if you haven't, this is for the people who aren't there, hopefully watching the lecture, if you haven't checked in with me by the end of the week, I'm going to have to drop you. I have to assume you're not that. Hi, Bree. Bree's not in Photoshop, so go down there. Bye, Bree. Bree took it last semester, I think. Bree's an actor. Hey, Daniel. Daniel, downstairs. Thank you. Goodbye. Hey, Bree. Sorry, I got distracted now.
Yes, Tim? I emailed back.
You emailed back? You're going to go on Wednesday?
I just took you off the CC, that's fine.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure. You can attend via Zoom is what Ken told me too. The meeting the first meeting's on Wednesday evening, okay?
Okay.
All right. If any of you are interested in ASGC, sorry, I'm dyslexic, so if I say things backwards, today, Tim, you said it backwards, and I'll fix it. Hopefully, I try to monitor it. So letters, really, really hard time for me. But that's student government. They are first meeting this Wednesday at 4 p.m. up there in the student center. And if you want to be a part of student government, GAV's awesome. We really recommend you be a part of it, and some of you first semester. I love Gavlin College. In fact, let's get into it. I am going to go ahead and share my screen, and you'll hear me say that because that's my way of reminding myself to share my screen, because last semester, my first lecture here doing Photoshop, I didn't share the screen because no one was on Zoom. And so the whole I went to upload the lecture and it was just my head. And definitely with Photoshop, we want to showcase our Zoom. So we're going to go over this course syllabus and we're going to jump right into it. So we're going to go pretty quick, but I would recommend the Canvas has the syllabus. The syllabus has all the information that I'm going to go over and explain. And I want you to know that the syllabus is the most important thing for you as a student, for your student rights with your professor. The syllabus is the contract between me and you. And it's my way of saying, this is my expectations of you and how you will get your grade. And then you can say, Tim, your syllabus said this, but you did this. That's not right. And like months from now, I have to say like, well, the syllabus says it, so I have to acknowledge the syllabus. And mostly what that means is I can't add assignments that you're going to be judged about without it being noted in the syllabus. Understood? Okay. So We're in the control room right here from 2:10 to 4:20 every single day. That's our lecture period. And I will keep this open till minimally 5 p.m. If it needs to go longer, I'm willing to stay a little up to 6 p.m. to give you lab time. But my goal is to lecture to you for an hour, hour and a half. We'll probably go a little bit longer today just because we have to do the syllabus, and then give you plenty of time to work on your Photoshop with me there, and you can ask me questions and I'll demonstrate and all that fun stuff. Make sense? Okay. Photoshop's the required software, and a thumb drive would be at the very least, or if you have an external hard drive. Photoshop files tend not to be that big. So I am looking at, I think probably my biggest Photoshop file was, my biggest Photoshop file was, I don't know, 300 megabytes. Maybe I had a gigabyte hard drive. So think about that when you're buying your gigabytes, pretty much the smallest external you're going to come up with. But that's a really, really huge Photoshop file. So I think you could probably get, if you ended up getting a 10 gigabyte external hard drive, like a thumb drive, you'd be okay with everything. Personally, I work in the land of media, so I have external hard drives like this up the wazoo. If you have an external hard drive, you can absolutely plug it in. These are Macs. Just know that your hard drive would need to be the universal format. So if you bring one from home and it's not either Mac formatted or FAT32 formatted, it probably won't be readable. And when you don't want to reformat it, you have stuff on your hard drive. But I can help you. I can help you format your hard drive if you want that too. All right, this is entry. This is the stuff they make me read. This is entry level course of Photoshop. Students will learn the fundamentals, processes in Photoshop digital imaging. Hands-on lectures will provide students skills to manage today's image libraries. Students will be introduced to Photoshop Bridge and Camera Raw utilities while crafting state-of-the-art compositions for print, video, animation, and the web. There's a focus on basic tonal and color adjustments, digital painting, black and white conversion, special effects, and correction and restoration techniques. This course has the option of a letter grade or pass or no fail. It's listed as CSIS 75. Familiar, and then the advisory is basic computer skills, like being able. We will be working. This is a Mac day. If you prefer a PC and you have a laptop, please bring it along. Otherwise, that's it. Everyone feel comfortable with basic Mac knowledge? Okay, last semester we had somebody, so had to make sure. It's hybrid. It focuses on Photoshop. You can meet in person or join on Zoom or watch the lectures. I really do think that you benefit from being in person, but if you're an active Zoom participant too, totally great. And if you are unable and you want to watch the lecture and participate and have questions or comments, well, great news down here. Okay. In the communications area right here, I jumped ahead. But basically, please note, and it should all be in front of you, but in the communications, I give you my cell phone. And my cell phone number, I give to all my students. Please don't call me. But I say that in the fact that I'd rather you text me and ask me, hey, Tim, can we talk? Because I am more likely to read a text message than answer a phone number. How many of you answer phone numbers? Phone calls? Yeah, nobody does. Look, no one's raising their hand. Unless you know the person, right? Probably. What I want you to do is to text first. And if you're going to text me, could you please tell me your name and what class you're in? Because I give it to all my students. I have a couple, about 150, 200 students. I can get someone like, hey, Tim, I need to get into class. Or Tim, when's class? And I'll be like, who Who are you? Also note that my email's on here. You can always email me. Email's kind of like within 24 hours. Text message, I'll probably answer you within the hour. If you leave me a phone call and leave me a voicemail, I will read your voicemail. But my mom leaves me voicemails all the time. I'm like, I just read the summary, or I'll call you back. I don't want to listen to a voicemail, so just be like, hey, Tim, it's important, call me. And that's the voicemails I want, right, Geronimo? Also, the inbox right here is really important on Canvas. You can see it over here, my inbox. That's another way in your Canvas you can message me if you need to message me something about there. But also in the class, I would say announcements are very, very important. So I've already posted 2 announcements for this class, which kind of say where we were meeting, and also had an intro video just in case. How many of you watched the intro video? Yeah. What's your name?
Eli?
Eli. I saw I got 1 view, so
Count this up. It wasn't up for me.
it wasn't up yet.
No, they're having problems with some students.
Yeah.
Their classes aren't showing up
When
yet.
did you put it up?
This went up yesterday, August 23rd, Sunday.
Okay, then I didn't have it because I was trying to do everything on Sunday.
Well, there's no judgment, okay? I just am saying it was just a welcome video getting you just basic information. I like to do welcome videos for all my classes so people not necessarily come in person so they can see my face and everything and know who I am. So shout out to Eli. I'm not giving out extra credit points yet. So I'm a tough extra credit giver, to be honest. Not really. Okay. You'll have plenty of extra credit opportunities also. I believe in extra credit, and I'm a decent fair grader, FYI. Okay. So we are back in the syllabus. I just want to finish out the syllabus before we get into there. The Zoom link is in the syllabus or the announcements. If you're at home and you're like, oh, where's the Zoom link? Those are great places to find it for the Zoom. What you can expect from me, I've been using Photoshop for the last 15 years. I've taken Photoshop classes myself, so I know what works best. I teach film here at the college. If you ever want to tell me a movie that you saw, I would love to listen to you. Tell me about the movie. You can get me talking about the movie, but we're here in Photoshop. Now they're all clapping for me right now. What can you expect from me? I will answer your questions, all of that stuff. All the policies are in here. Okay, due dates. Let's talk about this important thing. Due dates, Sunday by midnight or is when each week everything is due. But I will tell you that if you are 1 minute off, X minutes off, basically I will only deduct points for lateness if it's before I grade. And based off of it, grades usually come in within the week that it's posted to 2 weeks. Usually the most I'll wait is 2 weeks to grade your work. So if you're late and it's in before I grade, no points will be deducted, okay? So that's, if you're thinking about that. I will say that it is a fast pace and you're turning in something new every week. Stay on ahead of it. Also, I will tell you right now, if it's past the due date and it's past the point that I've graded, I will still accept the late work. It may be, I may not give you full credit, is what I'm saying, just because it's late past that point. But if it's the very last week of school and you realize, oh, I forgot to do week 4, turn it in. If you need the points, turn it in. And speaking of needing the points, this is what we're all about. Grading is based off of 1,000 points. So 1,000 points in here. So that means the assignments are about 22%. The quizzes are 33%. And sharing your work is 11%. And doing all that math, that means that the final project and the final exam are the 15 and the 20%. So what does that mean really, Tim? Well, what are the assignments? The assignments each week, I will tell you, it's going to be based off of my lectures and we'll actually be able to do it together. So ideally, you are doing it with me as I'm walking you through it. I will give you an image. You'll download, you'll get 2 images. One, you'll get you'll get You'll get the assets to make the image, but also I will give you what my final image looks like. So ultimately you can see, this is what I want yours to look similar to, okay? And we'll talk more when we download this week's work. Okay, quizzes, each week there's a quiz. It's a multiple choice quiz. You have unlimited time. You have 2 attempts. So if you bomb it, take it again. Think about it, go back, reread what you feel like you bombed, reread the stuff or rethink about the lecture, and take it again. I'm open to all type of learners, and I understand that there's test anxiety. I'm a bad test taker myself. I like giving opportunities to do it. I feel like if you have to go back and study, you learn it better that way. Okay. As you can see, here's the grading here. If you want an A in this class, you need 92% or more. A minus is the 90 to 91. And then you can see B, C's, and D's. Basically, in order to get a D in this class, you need 60%. So this is out of 1,000. So I know it's not math, but what is, to get an A, you need 92%. What is that in points? Out of 1,000? No math. Yeah. What's your name?
Alex.
Alex. So 900 would be a 90%. So 90%. Okay. So 90% would be an A minus. But if you want an A, how many points would you want?
920.
920. So if you want to get an A in this course, you need 920 or more. So that's a good way to look at it. And I will tell you, in Gradebook, in the grades, the system that we have now, it'll start giving you points and it'll say you have 100%, but that's 100% of the graded points. Okay. So it's 100% and I only have 20 points. Do I have an A? Well, you have 20 points currently. So at the end of the semester, if you're like, oh, I've got 100%, I'm going to like not do anything. Just know that it's backloaded towards the end and the final is worth 200 points. Okay. And the final includes everything. We'll do a final review the second to last week. Okay. Makes sense. So if you want a D in this class, it's a 60%. You need 600 points or more to pass the class. Okay. But we don't want D's, we want A's, okay? And we're gonna do our best to get A's. Also, there's tips for success and support. I recommend reading all of these. And then most importantly, I have, oh, okay. Watch this, I'm gonna edit this syllabus. You're gonna say, Tim, you're gonna change something. I just found a typo and it's gonna bother me. So we're going to just go ahead right here. I guess I must have just copy and pasted the title, but there we go. Okay. The schedule of the week is in here and it will tell you every single week that we're doing, and it's got spring break in here. Okay. Am I in the right one? Okay. Sorry. 1 second. I think I updated the schedule for the wrong class. So fall. Okay, sorry. Hold on 1 second. Let me just see. Syllabus. It wouldn't be a day without an issue. Okay. All right. I must have updated. Well, I have all the weeks in here. So, okay, just know that spring break, there's no spring break. So I'm going to get rid of that spring break. It doesn't affect the amount of work. Sorry about that. I'll fix that later. Let's not waste time now. Okay. So the syllabus, you can see the schedule, and the schedule will just give you an update on basically what we're covering. So you can see that, you know, getting to know the work area and doing basic is what we're going to do here. And then basic photo corrections is next week, then layer basics and all of that. Just know that when you go into the program here, each week will unlock. I have it unlock on Monday. So basically you have on Sunday to do up until Sunday to do your work, turn it in and comment on other people's works for full credit. Okay. Is there any questions or comments about the syllabus so far, other than the typo that I caught?
Where would you see the Zoom?
The Zoom link is right at the very top. It's going to be right under where it says Zoom link.
Okay.
If you click that, it's a link and it'll take you there. Okay? All right. Oh, you got a broken image of Tim Holland right there. So I don't have to look at the picture I took last year. They're all broken up for you? Oh, look, well, here's the picture. I don't know why it's broken, but that's me. Yeah, see? That was a year ago. And so I should update it with, I look more ragged, I think. Okay, let's go to so first and foremost, each and every week, you go into Canvas, it's going to look like this for you, okay? We have our online support hub right here if you have any questions with online support. But I want each and every week when we come in, first thing you should do is turn on your computer, log in if you have to. You're going to click on week 1 lecture. And in the week 1, or it's going to be week 2 lecture next week and week 3. But you're going to click on the week lecture. You're going to see there's the Zoom link. But we're going to say example files right here. And what I want you to do is all click on this little arrow or the link is going to take us. Click on it. Once you click on it, say allow, if it's asking you to allow, and then I want you to click download. And then go all the way to or continue with download only under continue. Yeah. Okay. So there it's going to download the files. Has anybody, mine looks different because I am the owner of the file, but I'm going to download the file. Everybody download the files? Okay, click on week 1 lecture. And then click on example files. Click on that link. And now go to where it says the word download. It's right there. And then click where it says or continue with download only. If you have a Dropbox link, you can log in and it'll save it to your Dropbox. Otherwise, I'm not endorsing Dropbox. I'm just saying, oh yeah, allow. Now you're downloading it. Okay. So everyone who's using their computers here, this is downloaded locally to the computer. So what's going to happen when we log off of these computers?
It disappears.
Erased from existence, just like in Back to the Future, right? So, you know what? I'm going to do this really quick. All right. So now what we can all look at is if we go into our download folders, see a million of my very, very poorly organized download folder, but we're going to look and it's going to say lesson1.zip. You can double click on that and it's going to give us lesson 1 folder. Yeah, lesson 1 right there. You got it. Okay, click onto the Finder, which is the face. Yeah, we're going back for a second. You're already there. Okay, so once you're in the face, then you want to click on the download tab right here where it says downloads. And then from there, it should say lesson 1. All right. Now that you have lesson 1, let's double click on that. And you should be seeing these two things. The first one says O1 and PSD, and the other one says Arch JPG. Okay, who knows what a JPG is? JPEG. It's a file form, okay? We're going to be saving our files into JPEGs. We're also going to be, more importantly, saving them as .psds. Who knows what a PSD is?
It's a Photoshop file.
Photoshop file, right?
And they're editable.
They are editable. Great. So if I click and I just hit spacebar, we can see that this is the finished image, okay? This is the image I created and that what we will be creating. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, if you have Photoshop experience, this is going to be the most basic of basic lessons today. And I will tell you, this is the one I created, but I'm going to allow you to do options in your Photoshop. So if you're going to say, Tim, you did orange, green, and blue, but I want to do red, green, and blue. Great. Or Tim, you chose this font. I'm going to choose a different font. Great. We'll go there. But basically what I'm judging you is I'm going to look at your PSD file and make sure that you did the amount of layers that I did, because Photoshop's all about layers. We're going to talk about that in just a second. So we have these files. Great. Our next step is we're going to open up Photoshop. So find Photoshop on the dock, which is down below. And if you aren't familiar with Photoshop, it is the P and the S symbol. You're already in Photoshop. You're great. Here, close that though for me, please. Say allow, first of all, and then say you can close the project. All right. Now it's going to ask you to sign in. So to sign in to use Photoshop, you have to use your G number. Or sorry, your Gavlin email. Yes. That one, okay. You can sign, that's Geronimo is signed in over there for you. So you can sign out and then sign in under your G number. So it's going to be your Gav email. You should hit continue.
Is it my download?
EDU. It should be, yeah. There you go. Once you're there, you're in, say personal account. If you have a Photoshop account, also you could log in that way. So, but every Gavlin student that's enrolled in Photoshop has access to it. If you click personal account, you should be good. Oops. Okay. Password, use your email password. Yes. Yeah.
It's gonna
Look-
be G numbers and passwords.
Yeah, I think you're in, so you're okay. We're in the process. We just have to log into our email first and then get there. We're good. All right, how many people still need help?
I think that one was on there.
Yeah, it was logged in as you, but it's only logged in. Yeah,
So
Just
to
make
bring
sure you
our
sign
own-
out. That's
On
the-
computers, it's a login to our, we can use our own Photoshop.
that's-
So I think you want it to-
I can set you up here or
I
wherever.
can set my phone.
Yeah.
It's
It-
small.
Yeah, if you feel comfortable. Good.
Yeah.
I totally, we had like 3 students who did that last semester.
Well, That way I'm not having
Prefer-
to.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
This, trust me, this is the first day growing pains. This happens every year. So just while we're waiting. Yeah. Is it logged in?
I logged out of Creative Cloud, or whoever was on Creative.
Yeah.
Cloud, And then
Okay, now open up Photoshop. Okay, you should be good.
yeah,
There you go. Excellent. All right. That one should, yeah, okay, it's your email. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Jump through all the hoops because we don't want people scamming you.
my, yeah.
It's my,
Okay.
it's my dot. No.
Mike.
I would try, isn't it usually your first initial and last name?
Yeah, usually it's your.
Yeah.
Mine's Marie.McDonald.
I didn't have a number,
Mike.
but-
That's your full name? Okay.
Yeah, and if it's super common, then.
I think
have a
it's
common
her.
name.
Mine's usually.
Well, my
like
son's is
name,
Finley,
dot-
it's Earl dot
Okay.
McDonald.
It's
Linda.
probably your first name, dot last name.
Okay, I've just been here long enough that they did me T all in.
Oh, well, the teachers are that way,
Yeah, okay, so,
but the students are first name dot
Okay.
last name.
Do you want
Okay.
an initial?
Jack, let's figure this out after what we're gonna do. Jerome, would you log it in just with yours?
That's the goal.
Here, John was gonna just log us in so we can proceed.
Yeah. I know you're-
All right.
I have like a rug alley that I can plug into monitors, but if I brought it to class, that Photoshop on it, we're able to bring that, just plug it into the.
Yeah, you should be able to. Yeah, we'll make that work. Okay. John was gonna help out Jack, but while we go, let's get Jack in so he can follow, because if we get behind, it's hard to catch up for everybody. So a little patience. Thank you, everybody. So as you can see, some of yours, when you open it up, you see previous files that might be still on the computer that weren't downloaded, but some of us have ones that are previously open files. And you can see like all of my previously worked on Photoshops here. And notably, if yours blank, it means you don't have anything saved. Looks like you got some, this looks like that computer didn't delete previous work. So that's stuff from last semester. And you've got some from last semester, but that's okay. We're not going to open up any of those. What we're going to do is look at this window, and this window in Photoshop has a lot of different options for us to take a look at. We notice the blue one is new. The one below it, this is going to create a new file. The one below it is open, home, learn. We have Firefly Workspace, which is Firefly is their AI. Looks like you don't have it, so mine's slightly different than yours. So let's not talk about Firefly right now. Generation history, you can click on that and see multiple different versions of Photoshops you have. I don't have any right there. Your files is actually will go through all of your files that are saved locally. You can go through files that are shared with you or projects that you're working on in groups. And then there are templates. We can actually like use a template. Well, I'm not Lightroom or even some deleted files. Now, also note that there's this cloud that says connected down at the bottom. Yours is errored. Okay. Error. Okay. So that just means, are you connected to Creative Cloud or not? I will look into that. We were supposed to have them all updated. Creative Cloud just means is it connected online, and will it do auto saves in the background? Okay, it looks like you have the templates there to play with. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to do one thing. We're going to say open. Okay, so let's click on the open button. And then I'm going to go down to where it says on your computer. Okay, and so then let's go into downloads, into lesson 1, and we're going to open up o1end.psd. We're going to open that one up. All right, you're already there. You didn't have to do my computer. Mine made me do it. So O1, basically we're opening lesson 1. We want to open up o1end.psd. Okay, say open. It should open up your window. It's going to go and look something like my window, assuming, say open.
Oh, down here.
Yeah, right there. All right. Give it all a second, the spinning ball. Okay, slowly opening, but we, computer time, we all have to wait. So now that it's opened, what basically I showed you how to open a old PSD. Another way to open a PSD file, here, I'm going to close my file here. Another way that I could have opened it is if I just go to lesson 1 and it's a .psd and I double click it, it'll prompt and automatically open Photoshop. So if you double click, I'm going to tell you, like most programs, and especially Photoshop, there are multiple ways to do exactly the same thing, and it's all just for user preference and ability. So now that we're looking at this, we're looking at Photoshop. This is basically our workspace, our canvas. This is where all of our files are going to end up in a window like that. The previous window was the home and or open screen is an example. Here we are looking at the finished. By the end of today, you should have created an image that looks just like this or similar enough to this. Okay. And what we just looking at the window here, we're going to look at a couple different areas. So look, number one, we're going to start with here with the home button. It looks like a home. We click home. We're going to go back to our home window, which is the open window, right? Now, if I go back to home, if I click the home button, feel free to click the home button. It's going to take you back to the open panel. You can open multiple PSDs at the same time. Again, the more you open, the more it's going to work the RAM in your computer, and you can crash your computer. We'll probably have a crash, okay? Photoshop crashes stuff. We'll probably have a crash. The point is learning to autosave. There's autosave feature, but also I'm going to teach us all right now. Command S is going to be your favorite, your best buddy. Command S is save. But we'll get back to that. If you went to the home window like me, and we want to go back to our image, let's click the PS symbol right here. It's going to take us back to Photoshop. All right. Now, below our home window right here should be the, this is the toolbar. So these are all the tools that we have access to. We're going to learn a lot about these tools, okay? It may look a little different than me. Okay, we have our swatch panels right here. Notably down here, we can see where it says 100%. That is our zoom level right here. It also is telling us information down here that tells us the size of our image. This is data, 72 PPI pixels per inch. Also notably here, I'm going to move this actually. Yeah. Oh, feel free to, sorry, I thought you were raising your hand. Okay, notably, this is me. Okay, that has nothing to do with Photoshop. You shouldn't have this. I'm just going to move me over here so we can be out of the way. In fact, let's turn that off so I don't have to look at myself. Okay. Also up here, we have the control panel, which will give us more access of tools. It's the binding channel, which will, based off of what we click, these options up here will change. Okay, so I will tell you when we note things, but as of right now, you can see we can do layer and group. We have auto select on, but these change when I say pick on something else. Okay, look, I clicked on a different layer and now things have changed. We'll talk more about that in the future. Okay, over here, I have windows, and all of these windows are open. It might look different than your windows. You have the color window open. So let me go ahead, and mine is my Photoshop. I'll try to make it look as much like yours, but let's go ahead. And again, I work in Photoshop every single day, so I have it set to my preset. Let's go ahead and put that and that one in there. And let's see. Oh, I pulled my color. There we go. Okay, so now I have color like yours. All of these windows are different tools and things that we'll go through. But just note that here's color. You can see there's properties, and actually we can pull, like you saw, I was pulling off. I can pull my color, and I can actually change my workspace, bless you, and make as many different windows as I possibly would want to use. It's all just based off of your preference. So there's a lot of ways to do it, and I'll show you what I think is the best way, but you can do it. If you have some knowledge of Photoshop, cool. You can set up your workspace however you want it. Properties, layers, all of this. But most importantly, you can see my layer window is right here down at the bottom of the screen. The layer window has all of the layers. Layers are what makes Photoshop so important. The different layers are there for us to lay things onto the image and creating what is basically a Photoshopped image, which then you would say an image is flat, right? This image is flat? Yes?
Mhm.
No, it's got layers.
Okay.
A flat image is just one layer, okay? So basically, our JPEG would be flat because there's no more information on it. It's not editable. But a Photoshop is not flat because we have all these layers. And you can see as I turn off the layers, my image changes, right? So you can, and I'm going to turn them all back on. You can see how many different layers went in to make this one image. So there's just by clicking and playing around, you can, and what I did was I turned the eye off. The eye makes the layer invisible. We'll talk more about this in the future, but basically I'm just giving you a direction around Photoshop. Again, here's some more option panels, and most notably the trash is going to be right here in the corner, right here in the right, okay? Great. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to exit out of the end. I'm just going to hit this X right here because I want to close it. So if I hit the X, it's going to close and it's going to say, hey, make changes. And all I did was I turned it on and off the layer. So I'm going to say save, and it's going to save it for me. Great. All right. What we want to do now is we're going to go. So let's exit out of the end. Okay. Exit out of the end. Uh-oh, did you close Photoshop entirely?
Oh, no, did I?
You might have hit Photoshop.
Oh,
Okay,
no,
there,
it's okay.
Photoshop's back. Okay, cool. Okay, how do you close Photoshop? That's a great question. Not a question, but you can hit the red X. That'll close Photoshop. Not really. Closes the window. Photoshop's still open. What we need to do is go up here to where it says Photoshop and say quit Photoshop, and that'll quit Photoshop. I'm just doing an example. Please don't do it because I don't want you to have to log in again. But I'm going to just reopen Photoshop. And what we're going to do now, everyone click File New. We're going to start our project. Okay, this is going to be your assignment. So I'm going to jump back to our module here. Okay, this was the week 1 lecture. I'm going to show you all this though. Notably, everything that I'm talking about is readable here. In fact, I have pictures and step-by-step instructions. Look, this is all the stuff that I just talked about. And this tells you all of the stuff that I just, hey, look here, this is tips and tricks and stuff, okay, that I'm talking about. So we're going to go step-by-step in here. But I'm giving you the lecture. You don't have to read these. These are just here to go back. And also the lecture will be up there. But I want you to note that for points right here, week 1 assignment is what we're working on right now. You get 15 points by turning in your week 1 assignment. Then you can take your quiz. By the end of the week, you need to take the quiz. So that's reviewing listening to the lecture, doing the assignment. That you should have enough skills to know the quiz, to pass the quiz by the end. I give you 2 attempts because also I would say, if it was me and I'm a student, I'm going to take the quiz right after I finish the class. And if I get all 20 points, great. But if I miss a bunch, I'm going to go back and reread so I know exactly what I missed. Okay. Yeah.
Did the quizzes show up on like the to-do, you know, there's like a to-do thing on the Canvas?
Just that one. This was March 1st.
Okay, great. That is not going to be March 1st anymore. That's why it didn't show up. So it should, yes, it definitely should show
That
up.
helps me figure out what I need to do. Sometimes there's like big classes where I can miss like a quiz or 2 because they show up on the to-do.
Great. That should be on your to-do now. Sorry about that. Thank you. I know okay, well, okay. There's no time limit on the quizzes, FYI. So take your time, but it's 5 questions, multiple choice. And I'll tell you, you usually do, I think there's 4 multiple choice questions, or I think there's 4 or 5. I can't remember because one's always like a joke one. So I can't help but like make a super obvious wrong one. Okay, I'm just showing you the modules because I wanted to show you that there's the quiz and share your work. So share your work is where you're going to upload your picture so we all can see it and say, oh, great job. You really copied Tim's work, or hey, thumbs up, or oh, I liked your decision a lot. You'll see as the semester goes on, it'll be more fun and people take my picture and Photoshop me into all this stuff. So not advised. No. So sorry, let's get back to Photoshop. So now what we can do now that we're at our new file window, it gives us a lot of templates that you can do. You can see mine has a lot because I have a lot of recents. But if we go and look at photo, it's going to tell us like, hey, here, not only are there templates, but here are like standard photo sizes. Here are standard letter sizes if I'm doing a letter. Oh, click on where it says photo. Now, see where it says recent? Now, if you click photo, you can see the photo. And mine has templates because yours isn't connected to Creative Cloud right now, so you're not getting all the templates. So it's fine. We'll figure out what that issue is. Won't be an issue next week. Okay, notably, what we're building today, you saw the arch for the live stream. We're going to make a live stream thumbnail for your live stream. All of us are Twitch streamers, right? Live streamers. Yeah. If you are, let me know. I'll like and subscribe and follow. Okay. But if not, we're going to learn how to do it. So I want you to click on film and video. That's the option. So the defaults for film and video. And we are going to select HD TV 1080p. So that's going to make an image that's 1920 by 1080 and is 72 DPI. Who knows what that means? Bunch of numbers, right? Well, what it is 1920 by 1080 is the amount of pixels. And when we say 1920 by 1080, that refers to actually a TV. A TV screen is 1920 by 1080. And that means pixels per, or that's how many pixels are in this image. Now, 1920 by 1080 is 16 by 9 like a TV. It's also HD. That's what HD quality is considered, okay? So 4K would be 4 times that number. Or it's like 4,000 by whatever is it? It's not in the default. Yes. Also, resolution is how many pixels per inch. We're working with 72, which is the maximum that's allowed for video. But we can, if we're doing print, we would definitely want more pixels per inch. So what we're going to do is click on HD 1080p and we can say create. Okay, we're all there. We have a white screen. We have cyan lines, and the cyan lines represent title safe. Okay, so in TV, sometimes images get stretched and get blocked by our screens of the TV. Title safe used to be a much bigger deal before everything was computers. So when you had an old TV that was like a bubble, your text could fall off the screen if you didn't have the title safe. So these blue things are actually guides, and our guides allow us to just know the safe space. We're going to work with the guides right now, and we'll talk more about how we can make guides and adjust guides in future lessons. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to import an image to here. So into my layer. So I want to go File, and I am going to go Import. And I'm going to say Import Image from Device. Oh, wait. No, sorry about that. My bad. Import is a scanner. My bad. Okay, we're going to say File Open. And let's go ahead and open arch.jpg. So File Open Arch. Right there after new, say File Open.
Oh.
Yep. It's a cool picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Will we be using it in our own pictures?
You can absolutely use your own pictures. Okay. Yes. The answer is yes. Any of my work if you're an expert, and in fact, your final project can be anything you want to do, so you can use your own pictures. But for today, like say if you had a landscape, all of my things are specifically there to help train you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I just
But
wondered
if you want to,
for the-
I've had expert photo, like I had expert photoshoppers with experience, and they brought in their own images and basically did exactly what I was doing, but with their image. So if you had something cool like this, yes, the answer is yes. I'm open to that. Okay, so sorry, I just want to check out my notes and make sure I'm telling you exactly how I wanted it to be.
Also, while we're doing this, the lesson notes, can they be printed?
Yeah.
So I know one of my other instructor lost them or.
No. You can print mine. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, what we all did is we opened up this file. Oh, Jack, what did you do? You did different than us. How'd you do that? That's all great. No, you actually are like ahead of me. So what did we note? We noted that did we put our image into our file? No, actually, look up here. We can see that there are two different tabs up here. Maybe you have three tabs. Each one of these tabs is basically a new Photoshop file. So if we saved it, it would be its own thing. So what we're going to do is now place this into our image. And there's a couple different ways to do it. Jack did it a different way, and that's fine. I'm going to tell you a different way. First and foremost, though, let's go back to this one. This one's called Untitled-1. I don't know what yours says, maybe just Untitled.
Yeah.
Oh, you did it too. What did you do?
I just took it on.
Shh, you're spoiling it. You're spoiling it. Okay, what I want to do first before we open it, I forgot to do this step. Let's go back to this white image. You should all be back on this white image. Okay, remember the hotkey I told you to do? What was the hotkey?
Command S.
Command S. Let's hit Command S on this one. Command S, where aren't you going? It's making me look embarrassed. Is mine just frozen? What's going on? All right, forget Command S. Let's go File, Save As. Oh, it's saved as Untitled. That's why. I'll do File, Save As. No, you're good. You can save it as that.
Just save it like
Yeah,
that.
just go File, Save As. Click on the workspace. I think that's why. If you just click on the main workspace,
This one?
just the gray area. Yeah, now go File, Save As. Shouldn't. Okay. Oh, you're transforming. All right. Just say don't apply. That's why it's okay. File, save as. Okay. So what I want you to do, this is how we're going to name. These are going to be our naming conventions. Okay. So this will be called Tim Allin. No, you're going to name it your name. And then I'm going to call this W1. Or I'm going to call this, I'm going to call this week 1, so W1, and then I'm going to call this O1. Some weeks we're going to have multiple files to turn in, okay? I think 1 week we have to turn in 3 files. So name it your name, W1 for week 1, and then O1. And then we're going to go save. Now it's going to auto save in the background, but also if we hit Command S, it will auto save. Okay. Notably too, when I did File, Save As, what it did is basically saved it where we opened, where it saved to. So basically I'm saving it into week 1, but if you wanted to save it somewhere else, you could select the desktop, the documents, downloads, or more importantly, you would save it to your hard drive. Yours looks slightly different than mine. So if you click that down arrow right here, that gives you more save options. So we're just going to save it back into your lesson 1 folder or onto the desktop download, just so you know where it's going to be downloaded. You can change your location, just like where we save all of our stuff. And you can see this option right here. I can save to Adobe Cloud Storage. And I'm going to call this, shoot. You can't do it if you're not connected to the cloud, right? But I'm going to say Adobe Cloud Storage as an example, and I'm going to save it to my files. I'm going to say save. Okay, now it's saved in the cloud for me. If you have that, you could do it. Okay. All right. So one way, if we go back to, if you have the arch here, some of us dragged and dropped it onto our file. That's one way. So we could combine this image by clicking it. I can drag and drop it over here. And boom, now my image is in there. Okay, that's one way. Another way would be, there's all these different ways. I just want to make sure I do it right. All right, the other way is file, place embedded. Okay, so file, place embedded, and then let's go ahead and find the arch, and I'm going to say place. Now, what's the difference between my way and your way?
3 slides.
Yes, it's already sized. So file, again, it's file. Oops, I'm going to say return. Okay, file, place, embedded. Okay, and then choose the arch, and you're going to say place.
The one with our name on it?
Yes, the one with your name. So there's multiple ways to do it. I'm going to teach you. Also, the biggest thing I'm going to tell you is there's a way to be destructive Photoshoppers and constructive Photoshoppers. Ooh, what'd you do?
I did it like you said, but I. guess-
Okay, I'm going to teach you the best. You should all know this from multiple programs, but undo. Do we know how to undo? You ever done Word? How do you undo?
Here you go. Undo.
Edit, undo, or the hotkey, Command Z.
My what?
Command Z is undo. All right, so check it out. Here's an example. Okay, hit enter first. I think it's because you're in the transform box right now. Yeah, there you go. Got rid of it. Okay, and we have a great example in Photoshop 2. What's important is our slider bar here will allow us to move what we're seeing in our image. So we want it in the center. There's a couple tools I want to show you right now that is going to affect how we view our image, right? So sometimes, especially since I'm using the laptop, I could accidentally move this. There's a couple tools I want to showcase. The hand tool right here. And just note with all of the toolbars, if you put your cursor over it and let your cursor stand on, pop up, it'll not only tell you the name of the tool, but it'll give you the hotkey. So you can see if I hit H, that's my hotkey tool. So get me the hand tool. Now the hand tool is a good tool that allows me to, if I click the hand tool, I can literally click and drag, and it allows me to move my workspace however I want to do it. That's pretty much all the hand tool can do. The other thing to do is right under the hand tool, at least in my toolbar, is the zoom tool, which looks like a magnifying glass. The magnifying glass, if I pop up, you can see it's Z. That's the hotkey for zoom, the zoom tool. Now the zoom tool, if I click, it allows me to keep zooming in. Oh shoot, I went all the way into the pixel. Hey, there's a pixel. Look, you can see there's a pixel of my image. But what do I do now? Okay, well, I'm stuck. I guess I will now go up to here, and I'll click the minus zoom. And the minus zoom lets me zoom out. If I clicked up here. Now, what's notable, that seems like an annoying way to go up and down. Well, hotkey with most of the tools, we can see that, see my magnifying glass has a plus in the middle? Well, if I hold Option, what happens to my plus? Becomes the minus tool. So that's the zoom out. Zoom in, zoom out. Now, every time I click, I zoom in and zoom out, okay? And notably, if I zoom in and then I move this little box that says my name, we should note that like, hey, I'm looking at this image at 300%. So 300% the original. That's good because sometimes I'll open up a file and be like, why does the image look weird? And I realize, oh, I'm zoomed in. I didn't know it. So that's always a good reference tool to know how much we're zoomed in or zoomed out. Okay, now I'm going to zoom out. Also, you can see that up here in the contextual toolbar up here, it will tell you what percent. It also gives us, so I can say fit screen, fill screen. That's all going to give us options on if we want it to fit or fill the screen. And most notably, I like this one too, which is Scrubby Zoom. All right, Scrubby Zoom. Who wants to guess what Scrubby Zoom is? You ever use Scrubby Zoom? No, okay. So if I turn on Scrubby Zoom with my Zoom and I click and drag, I click and hold it, and I, instead of going click, 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 click to zoom in, I can click and like zoom into a very specific point and let go. I can also click and go in or,
Oh, that's pretty cool.
yeah. So I can zoom, if I click and go left and right, I zoom in and zoom out, or even if I click and hold it, it's going to like slow zoom into that very point instead of the click, click, click. So that's if you want Scrubby Zoom on or off, because otherwise you have to go click, 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 or click and hold it. All right, so let's go fit screen. I'm going to look back at that. And those are two tools you learned about today, is the hand and the zoom. Those are great ones. And I think the zoom might be on the quiz if I remember correctly. All right, Scrubby Zoom. All right, now that we've entered in our image here, we place this image here. I'm gonna, you haven't done that yet. So let's go back. So we're back here. Let's go to, let's just close that window. You have, let's get rid of Arch. Yeah, hit the X next to that one. Okay, now you're on that image. So if you're still in this image, let's go File, Place, Embedded. And then click Arch. Now we click the Arch. Now we're here, and we should be there at the Arch. So what's notable about the Arch is when you do File, Place, Embedded, the Arch comes in with the Transform tool already activated. Now the Transform tool is how we adjust our image, because look, the Arch tool doesn't fit. We have white. So the white here means that's the background, and anything that we're dropping layers on top of layers. So the layer in the layer panel right here, we can see that the Arch is above the background, right? And because the Arch is above the background, it means it is the dominant layer. It's the top layer. So just imagine stacking paper on top of each other. And because the Arch is smaller than the bottom, we're seeing the bottom. But if I say do this and click, I can click my Arch and drag it. Oh, here, I got to unlock my bottom. I'm going to click and drag there. Now my background is below it, right? So now all I'm seeing is white, but I don't want that. So I'm going to hit Command Z and undo that. I'm going to undo that to keep it as the background. All right, that's just an example of, so anything, it's going to stack. So if you can't see, like, why can't I see this layer? It might be because it's below the other layers. Okay. Now that we're in the transform tool, what I want you to do is we're going to transform our image. And the way that we can do it is see all of these squares. The squares are good ways to transform the image. And so basically what I can do, and actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out a tiny bit. So I'm going to take my zoom out tool and I'm going to go and zoom out a little bit so I can see more of the image so it's not fit to the screen. And now I'm going to go back to my cursor tool right here, which is the move tool. The move tool is like a cross with arrows up and down. It's the top one on the toolbar. And it's going to be Command Z. This is the main one. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to click and just drag this image. I'm going to click one of the squares and click and drag. And what I can do is I can click and drag and fill my whole image right there. Now, If you don't have those boxes for whatever reason, you should. You should click and drag those. You transform your image, make it big enough. Now, what I want you to note, you should not see any white in your image. So click and drag it. You can, and in fact, look, I can keep dragging it big. You can format it. You can basically make it doesn't need to look like that. But what's notable is, look, I made this big. And we can still see that, like, look, the image is bigger than the white. But what happens to it when I drag my image past the white part of the canvas? Cuts it off. Anything that's not within the canvas, we have this black area disappears, and it's basically eliminating it. So you can see if I drag it up or down, I could cut off the top of this archway, or I can make it bigger. Or if I make it smaller, it's not going to fit completely. So what I want to do is I'm going to just transform it there, and you can see the contextual text bar right here gives us a couple options. But once we're done transforming, I'm going to click the done button, and the done button gets rid of my transform box. Okay. So now I'm going to click, basically anytime I want to click off of that layer, I can click onto my workspace, which is the gray or black around the workspace. And now I'm clicked off of that layer. All right. Questions, comments, concerns?
When you make it bigger to fit, does it distort the picture?
All right, good question. So the bigger, okay.
Like it made it longer.
It made it longer, right? Like, so I stretched it.
Yes.
Well, what happens is currently we have our constrained proportions on it. So if you make it bigger or smaller, it won't distort the image. Now, if I hold shift when I transform, I can squish my image. I can make it longer. Look, I can make it the arch fill the whole thing. I'm basically turning off lock proportions. So I can do that, and I can make it all, I can.
If you
We're
hold the shift.
while I'm holding shift, that gets rid of maintain proportions. Now, if I do that and I do shift and I turn that off, it's going to keep it distorted when you transform it again. So just know about that. That's a future thing. We are definitely going to be distorting stuff in the future. Today's not about distorting it, but yeah, great question. I love future questions. All right, let me just double check, make sure I'm saying them all exactly the way I want to say it. All right, that should be fine. Contextual taskbar, I said. Okay, next. All right. All right. Now we're going to make a new layer. So in the layer panel, we're going to click over here click on arch. Now I'm going to tell you when it comes to the layers, whatever layer you select, when we make something new, it's always going to populate to the, it's going to populate above. Okay, Marie, I just saw you do something, which is great. You're always one step ahead of me. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go down here. You can see the trash can. We can also see that there is a button that looks like a square and a plus. Please click that. That is going to be create new layer. Okay. And in this layer, what we're going to do is we're going to click where it says layer, and it should default layer 1. Now it's named layer 1. And because we were clicked on the arch, it appears above the arch. So that means it's on top, right? So whatever we do to the top of it will be there. So I want to double click where it says layer 1, and we're going to name this rectangles. Okay, once we have the rectangles, Okay, we are going to use the rectangle tool. So the rectangle marquee tool is the one that looks like it's this recce. It looks like dashed rectangle, right? Again, we can see that the hotkey is M. Hotkeys are fun for those. Okay, so if we remember, I'm just going to go ahead and say open, and we're going to open this. You don't have to do this one. I'm just remember what it looked like. This is what mine looked like. So let's go back to our arch. So then we know what we're going to do is we're going to add the orange and the blue right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to select my marquee tool and I'm going to click. Now I want you to click outside of the workspace. I don't want you to click on the image. I want you to click on somewhere outside in the gray, and I want you to drag it. And note that when we drag it, it's telling us our width and our height. So I want us to all go to the first, yes.
It's auto magneting to the frame. When I click right here.
Yes.
It automatically attach it to. Oh,
Yes, please note, that's a great indicator. So, because you know why? All of you were using the marquee tool and I was in a different tool. So I was doing it wrong. So here, I'm in the marquee tool. Note that so I'm trying to select outside of my workspace and it won't let me. It's because this tool only works in the canvas space. So let's go ahead and select. Oops, I want to be on the outside and I want to go to the first cyan line, okay? But ultimately, this is your choice. You don't have to make your rectangles as big as mine or not, but basically I need you to draw a square with the marquee tool. You don't have the marquee tool. Watch what happened. Where's your marquee tool? Click on that circle marquee and hold it. There you go. Go to the rectangle one. Okay. Great thing to note is our toolbars up here. Some of them have little carrots, and the carrots are these little tiny arrows. See the arrow neck? Look, I have the selection brush tool, but if I click and hold on the toolbar, it'll show me that other tools are bunched in here. We'll talk about that in the future because there are multiple marquee tools. Okay, so if you didn't have that, so I want you to select this. Now, what I can do is I am going to, oh, you can't use this because no layers are selected. Okay, oh, I learned more. All right, I didn't want to learn more. I'm in class, that's why I'm learning more. Okay, now what I want you all to do, we all drew our square, right? Yes? Okay, now I want you to choose the paint bucket tool, which is fill selection. And I'm going to do fill selection, fill color. All right, look, I already have it selected to an orange. All right. Okay, you need to click on layer. Let's see. Okay, you're on the layer. Can I see it for a second? Okay, well, let's undo a little bit. Let's see. No, we're selected. Let's just go. Oh, okay. You have a transform tool right here. So let's go ahead. Oh, you have a smart object. Okay, we're just gonna delete that and start a new layer. Okay. So start a new layer. You made a smart image. So then, yeah, do your marquee tool. All right, choose the color you want. I picked orange. It doesn't have to be orange.
It was color fill?
Yeah, fill color. Yeah, color fill. Yeah, me too. I know exactly. Now, what's notable about this is our color picker tool. So the color picker tool, are you there yet? Are we all ready for color picker?
I don't want to get rid of that.
Okay, here, yes. That's great. Photoshop is fun. Can sometimes be like that for no reason. Just okay. Cool. All right. Let's click on rectangles, and now we're going to go fill color. Okay. The color picker tool has every color you would ever need, and then some. You can pick whatever color you'd like. Let me just tell you about a couple awesome options with the color picker tool. First and foremost, we have down here, which is our hexadecimal code. Every single color has its own unique number and letters, and you can pick it specifically there. Or you could just click and drag and go like anywhere within the color palette here, including dark and light. Also, what I can do is if I move my cursor away from the color picker tool, it becomes the eyedropper tool. You see the eyedropper that I have? Well, the eyedropper, you can choose anything within your image and choose that as the color. So for example, if I choose this green, now it's going to tell me, oh, that's the hexadecimal code for this specific pixel that I picked in the image. Well, it's okay. I'm going to go back to my orange and I'm going to say, okay. And then it says contents, color, normal. I'm going to say, okay. What the? Why did it come out red? Okay. All right. Excuse me. All right. Well, I went back and I'm going to do it again. Y'all get orange, or is it just me who's okay? I don't know why it gave me red for whatever reason. I got orange now. You pick pink? Great. I love picking pink.
A different color.
You can pick a different color. I love it. It's not a big deal for me. Okay. Now what we want to do is I want to go ahead and do exactly the same thing. We're going to do the blue section. So I am going to use back to the marquee tool. I'm going to select about that much. It doesn't really matter how much. And now I'm going to go to the paint bucket and say fill color. And I'm going to choose a blue and say, okay. And now I have my arch with a blue and an orange. But I want it on this side, okay? You can choose different sides, but I want it on this side because yeah, the right side, please. It's all right. Now, Tim. Okay, I'll give a second before I start giving myself hypothetical questions, which is a teaching way that I like to do. Oh yeah, go to your move tool. You are in the hand tool. There you go. Okay. Are we ready? Everybody feel good? You have two rectangles?
I did the marquee.
Yeah.
But how do I feel it?
Okay, remember the paint bucket?
Oh, this one?
No. The paint
Oh,
bucket.
this one.
Yep, and then click that, and then use fill color. We'll talk about the other options. Choose a different color. Now, what we're doing is we are doing constructive Photoshop, not destructive Photoshop. And I'm going to say this like a million times. You're going to get sick of me saying constructive, destructive. Okay, but I'm going to tell you this because of this very specific reason, is because what we're doing now is look. My original image, I have blue and orange over the arch, and everything below it is gone, right? Destroyed. You can't see that anymore. No, it's not true, Tim, because if I turned off that layer, my image comes back. If I was a destructive Photoshopper, and I'm doing this as an example, you don't do this, please. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do my marquee tool. I'm going, oh, it's a smart image, so it won't let me do it. So I'm going to rasterize it. I'm going to do this. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my image here. I'm going to fill my color, fill the color, do the blue, and say, okay. Now, as a destructive Photoshopper, what I did was I look at my layer right here. So now the arch, if I turn off my arch, oh shoot, the arch layer always is going to have this blue on it. I basically destroyed the pixels. That's what I mean by destructive. So I can't turn it on and off. So I'm now stuck with this. But I'm going to say Command Z and go back. All right. The other thing to note, I will tell you, Command Z, the other thing to note is one of your windows right here is going to be history. And history right here is great one to go to. It's every single action that you've done should be over here. If you don't have it, okay, yours doesn't have it. Go up to window. And window is going to show us all of the windows that you choose. If you click history, a history window will pop open and it'll tell you every move. Now, what's notable about, and this is where we're going to talk about time travel a little bit. What's notable about history is if I go all the way over here and I click history, it's going to take me all the way back. Well, okay, I went all the way back, but also I could go all the way forward. But guess what? Just like time travel, if I go all the way back to my, well, here, let me show you an example. I am going to, let's see, edit. Did I do enough to screw up the timeline? I did. Okay. So undo, redo, right? So I basically undid and redid. When can you can't redo something if you've done another change afterwards, okay? So you basically break the timeline. So I did all this work, I undid it all, and then, oh, I literally click once to do one paintbrush and it breaks the chain. You can't go forward again, okay? So just be careful when you're playing with undo, redo, because if you make a change, you can't ever go back forward. That's where saving multiple versions we'll talk about in the future. Okay, so then as a constructive Photoshopper, I did this. Now, the only thing different between my image and yours is I can see the stuff in the background, right? Right? Although yours, I can see your stuff in the background. What'd you do? You messed with the opacity. That's not what we're doing. We're not going to do opacity today, okay? What I want you to do is we're actually going to change the mode of this layer. And the mode of this layer, we'll note that right here, where it says normal, these are the blending tools. The blending tool is normal right now, which means it's the opacity and everything is normal. So change your opacity back. Do you know how to change the opacity? Yeah. Right. Oh, okay. So that's destructive, FYI. So if it's something we can't change after the fact, it's destructive versus constructive. Okay, Alex, right?
Yeah.
What did you do?
I
You're
was
messing
just-
with, yeah.
I was just hovering over. the
So
line.
I want you, so there are multiple different blending layers which change the luminosity, change the style. I want you to go through, we're going to click normal and we're going to change it. The one that I used is color. Oops, I'm on the wrong layer. That's why I did that wrong. Okay, so click on the arches layer and change this to color. And you can see that what it does is we see the background, but it changes the color to blend the color with the original image.
But you have to be on the arch one? Or the
You have to be
rectangle?
on the rectangle one. So be on the rectangle one, but you also note that like when you scroll over them, you can see all the different options. My requirement for you is to basically change the blending mode so you can choose any one you want. But I'm going to go with color because that's what's in my example. Okay. Yeah, looks good. Click color and you're good. That's our blending option there. Yeah, right. Different blending options. We'll play a lot more with these in the future as they're very, very much a really fun thing to do.
That's all different from what I learned.
Oh, really?
I was on CS6.
Oh, definitely way different. Okay. Yes. I was back there. So, okay, let me
Still on
just,
my laptop.
okay. The next step, I'm just trying to follow my notes because we could do different ways. Okay. The next step I want to teach you, we all feel good. Let's add some type. Okay, so what we're going to do is go over to our tools, and there's one that looks like a T. That is the horizontal type tool. The horizontal type tool, you can also hotkey it by hitting T. All right. Go down to where it says color. There you go, see? Okay, now the horizontal type tool, we're going to click onto the horizontal type tool, and what I do is anywhere I click on the image, I'm going to take the T, I'm going to click somewhere onto my canvas. Just click the T. You'll see that it'll default and it'll say lorem ipsum, which is the Greek or the what is Latin default type that's going to show you. And also it's going to default probably to whatever the last text was used. We're in the type tool now. Oh, okay. We use color. So it's that one. Okay. Now we're in the type tool. And click horizontal type tool is what we want. And then click anywhere it's going to say lorem ipsum. Now, what's notable is our contextual menu is going to change up here, and we're going to have type options, which we can choose. And you can see that mine says April Fat Face. What? April Fat Face is the name of the font I'm using. I have way more fonts than you probably have on your computers, just because I do Photoshop as part of my job. My other one. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to select something bold. I'm going to do Arial Black Regular, okay? And then I'm going to select that, and what it's going to do is I can click here and change the font. I can change the style of font. This one has regular, but if I say I choose something like, let's do Times, you can see a lot of fonts. If it's not, double click your text layer. Yep, type it how you want. Type the words live stream. Yes, or you can type it whatever you want, but the words on my example was live stream. So for example, if I'm in Times, there should be, if it has a bold, I can choose the bold. And then also note that, like, here's the font size. So if you want to make it bigger or smaller, every font is going to be bigger or smaller. The other thing to note about font size, which I like right here, everybody's busy choosing a font. But please listen before you choose your font. Font size, you can choose based off of the font size, but also you can, if you click on the T, the bit up, the small T and the big T, you can click and drag, and actually, like, by clicking and dragging, allow you scale out the font size. I find this is a really easy way to do that. Also note that, like, hey, I clicked here, now it's off the screen. Well, I can go to my move tool here, and now I can click, and it's a separate layer. So I'm going to click and put this up here. Now I'm going to double click, and I'm going to type the word live stream. Right? Oh, no. Sorry. History 301 was what I had. Okay, so I'm going to make this history 301. In fact, you know what? I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to say this is Photoshop 1. There you go. All right, so I chose this font. Or if we look on the original, I can click here and say, yeah, April Fat Face was the one I picked here, okay? Yes.
Can you show me again how you did it, the font big and small?
Yeah, absolutely. So in your font layer, we're going to double click the font here, and then we're going to go over the T and slide it up and down, okay?
I can't see that.
On the
You can't
T?
see, okay,
Yeah, I got a light.
okay. So double clicking, make sure that your font is all highlighted, okay? If you want to change it. So if you just double click the font, it'll select it all.
Okay.
Once it's selected, just you double click on the T. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah.
Can I take a look?
Sure. Show me what they do.
Just a double click right there. Sometimes, hey, computers hate us. That's the real truth. Okay. So once it's highlighted, now if you go up to the T, see up here where the T is, you can see right here. Marie, if it's an issue, you can see right here on mine. It's right here in the contextual text part. I could just point to yours actually right there. So if you click and hover over that click and drag, you can go left and right and it'll make it smaller or bigger.
Oh.
And so that's a cool way to resize it. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to my move tool and kind of just reposition it where I want it in the image. Okay. Now, the other thing, you can put it anywhere in your image as long as it doesn't go off the screen. We want a second one. We're going to go T. We're going to click here. I'm going to make a different one. I'm going to make this one called live stream. And most notably, you'll notice that if I use the text tool, it made another layer. Every time you click, it's going to make another layer of a text tool. And with this one, I'm going to make it a different font. I'm going to make this one Arial Black, and I'm going to make this one smaller. And I'm going to put it over here.
That's the live stream.
Yep.
We can put anything on there?
You can make it say anything.
Oh. okay.
Also notable, the other thing I want you to know is I selected this. I selected my image. The contextual menu came up, and you can see this floating window also is basically the stuff at the top. And notably, we can see that the font, we can see the size, but also we see this white square. At least mine's a white square. If you click on the white square, it's going to go to the color picker. See the white square right here?
Mhm.
If you click that, you can click that and change the color of your font. All right. So I'm going to make it yellow. Make sense? Great. You're already there. Good. Okay. We got live stream. All right. Now there's two more things we want for this image to be done. We're going to add a brush effect. So I want to do a new layer. So let's go ahead and do a new layer, which remember next to the trash tool is the new layer. We're going to hit create new layer. And I'm going to name this one. What did I name it in my one? Paint. Name it paint. All right. In the paint brush, we're going to use the paintbrush tool. So the paintbrush tool looks like a paintbrush. It's this one right here. Right there. Brush tool B. Yes. Brush. We're on the brush tool now. So you need to make a new layer if you haven't made a new layer. Yes. And with the brush tool, we're going to select it. And the brush tool is going to give us a bunch of different options.
Brush. Click on the brush.
Just click on the brush tool. Yeah. Or you can hit B. Now the brush tool allows us to like draw on our image. Look, okay, like that. But what I want to do is I want to change my brush. So as we clicked on the brush tool, you clicked on the brush tool, and then in the brush tool, I want you to click on the one that looks like a folder with the tool brush. It's right here at the top. It's the brush settings right here. So the brush settings opened up a new window for me. And then I'm going to go and click on brushes. And I'm going to go to special effects brushes. Okay. And with special effects brushes, I'm going to use Kyle's splatter brushes. Tilt. I'm going to choose the very top one. So click on where it says brushes. And now we're going to go special effect brushes. If you click the arrow, which is right there, it'll drop down the menu. And basically, you can see there's a whole bunch of different brushes. We're going to choose the very first brush, though. Kyle's splatter brush. Kyle's splatter brushes. Yeah, let's do the very first one. Okay, now notably, we are going to paint on our image now. Or we're going to paint on our layer. And it's going to be like that splatter brush. But how do we choose what color our splatter brush is going to be? Well, you have the color picker up there, but notably, it is going to be whatever your default color is. And we need to look at our color swatches. So on the toolbar, we're always going to see what our color swatches are. And it's these two right here. If you see right here on mine, mine is red currently. Yours is probably going to be a different color just based off of your color picker. But the color swatches here, the whatever's going to be on top. Okay, yeah, yours is, okay, look on your toolbar. See how there's two color swatches down there?
Okay.
That black means whatever you draw is going to be the color black. Or yours is orange, mine's red right here. And what I can do is if I can click on the color swatch right there, it's going to open up a color picker and I can choose a different color. So I want to go Shrek green. Right about there, Shrek green. Say okay. And now a couple other things to note about our brush. We have our unique brush. We have our flow. We have the opacity of the brush. These are all things that we're going to adjust. But also, if we click on right up here, if we click on this arrow, it's going to give us the size of our brush. So the size is how many pixels it's going to eat up. So I can go up and down. You can also see that over here on our brush panel, we can make our area that it's coming bigger or smaller. Well, what does that mean, Tim? Well, that means if I click, you can see the splatter shows up a lot, or if I make it smaller, it's going to show up very little. So let me just undo all that. Now with this splatter brush, it's making splatter effects. So I'm actually going to make it pretty big, like 300, and I want it to be under this live stream. So if I click, you can see as many times as I click, it's going to splatter, or I can click and hold. And as I click and hold, it's going to draw more and more and more.
I missed something.
Well, what? Yeah.
I missed something.
What did you miss?
I don't know. I'm in there.
Yes. Okay. Great. Let's go and click on, you have the brush tool.
Mhm, right there.
Okay, click on the background. Just like over here. Yeah, click. You cannot use the brush because the layer is locked. Okay, your layer is locked. Okay, so say okay first. Means you can't adjust it if the lock layer. Okay, make sure we're using the brush tool on the separate paint layer. Now, notably, what happened when I painted on my layer? What does live stream say now?
Stream.
Just stream. Well, that's because my paint layer is above my text layer. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take my paint layer and I'm going to lower it and put it behind. And now you can see live streams on top of my paint layer. You can do that, or if you click and hold, it'll do it like a stream, almost like a,
Oh,
yeah, see, like a spray paint can or something.
okay.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, these are fun to add textures. All right. I think
When I
there's,
hit the paintbrush, it just
Yeah.
keeps giving me this message. I don't know why.
layer cleanup, say cancel.
I do.
Let me see that. Can I see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is your layer for your
Mhm.
paint.
Oh, on that side.
Okay, yeah, this is the paint brush.
I was
Okay.
sitting there.
Oh, okay. Oh, that
A
is
broom? Oh, that's a broom.
that was gonna delete stuff. over here.
Oh, gotcha.
So now I clicked over here, which is brush settings and brushes. Okay, sorry about that. And then we went to special effect brush and we chose this one. Okay,
Mhm.
the splat. So if we go like that, now you can draw this onto your layer. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So there's really only one more thing that I want you to do for this. What we're going to do is we are going to we're going to add one more color. Now, what I want to do is I want to add a fill color, which is different. So we're not going to the rectangles. I want you all to click on arch. Okay, let's all click on arch. And now we're going to go to the new, oops, I don't want to do a new layer. I want to go and do a, ooh, hold on. That's a group. Hold on. Oh yeah, I want to do a new layer. That's a mask. Oh, okay. So I made a new layer. Now I'm going to click on the layer and I want to choose this create or fill, which is the half circle. And then I want to say solid color. Okay. Click on the layer. Yeah, right. Click and hold. And now we want to scroll down. It's down, and we want to do solid color. Yes. You're going to once you're on your new layer. So here, yeah, make a new layer. Make it below the rectangle. Yep. Now click the half circle, which is next. See where it says no. Yeah, right there. Click and hold that. And then go down, and we want to do color solid. Now this one I want to do dark. I'm going to do dark blue. All right. And then I am going to go and I am going to do hard light. And then I'm going to mess with my opacity. I lost you all. Okay, sorry. Let me go back. I'm going to start over. All right. Sorry, everybody. I'm going to go to my arch. I am going to, over the arch. Okay. No new layer. This is where I messed up, everybody. Click on your arch. Now on arch, we're going to go and say color solid. It makes its own layer. Yeah, delete that layer. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to just go back. We can undo it and I'll show you all. Okay, let me show you. I'll do you one more. Okay, so there's no, we're just going to go right over arch right here. Okay, and over arch, we are going to say, we're going to click on this option right here, which is the create new fill or adjustment layer. The new fill or adjustment layer is, it looks like a half circle. We're going to click on that. And now what we want to do is we want to go all the way down to solid color. Okay, should be the third to last option. Now solid color is going to give us an adjustment layer above it. We're going to choose a color that we want to adjust it to. I'm going to say red for this time and say okay. Now we note that it is above. Yes. And now in this layer, we're going to go over here where it says opacity. See opacity up there?
Mhm.
Now let's change that opacity so we can see the images below.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh, wow.
Okay.
That's cool. Looks like it's low.
Yeah, right. So that is that. We can also mess with it a little bit more by messing with the blending option. Now I'm going to do, I think, hard light as the blending option, and I'm going to change my opacity to be a little bit more like that. The blending option, remember, normal. Yeah, so click on the blending option. You can change the blending option there.
Oh, look at that. That's
Yeah. Okay, guess what? What you did, that's your first assignment. We did it. We finished it. I am going to show you one more thing that you're not required to do, but just for your knowledge base. Now, for me, Tim, looking at my image, I'm like, that could be a little bit better. If the arch was more in the red, I would like that a little bit more. So I'm going to click on the arch, and I'm just going to use my move tool, and I'm going to move it. Oops. I'm going to click my arch. Now, what's notable is if I try to click my arch and move it over, oh, I can't click it. What it won't let me because there's other layers on top of it, selecting the wrong layer. So I'm going to click my arch, and I'm actually going to turn off auto select on my move tool. Now what that allows me to do is to grab the layer that I have selected down here. Auto select is going to grab the top layer. You want me to do that again? You're looking at me like, okay.
I'm just trying to see where you did the auto.
Okay, auto select is right up there on your text bar, sorry, I should point to yours. Click the move tool. It's on the move tool. So you're still on the brush tool. So once move, and then you can see auto select. It's a really useful thing that a lot of people don't know about that. So if you click the move tool, which is the cross, it's actually probably the default tool that we should always be in. Then whatever layer you select, you can just individually move that layer. Otherwise, if we're doing that and we have auto select on, it's just going to grab whatever the top layer is and not necessarily, I can't grab a layer that's that below. So like it always wants me to choose the fill color. Finally, again, what I'm going to do is look, I want to move it over so my arch is more in the center. Especially with those of you who aren't connected to Creative Cloud, we're not going to do this one. I'm just going to show you the example. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use AI. All right. We're going to use the AI that's built into Photoshop. And basically what I can do is I can select this area of the arch. I turned off all the other layers to make it easier. And now I'm going to say generative fill. What it's, oh no, that's wrong. Wait. Remove background. I don't want that. I want to select this. I want to say, oh yeah, generative fill. And I'm just going to not give it a prompt. I'm going to generate. Works out correctly. It should use the concept of what's in the image in order to generate. And look,
Oh, wow.
it did that, right?
Cool.
It did that. We're also going to learn this semester how to do it ourselves so that we don't have to count on that. But that literally took a minute. Whereas back in the day before this, I would spend 20 minutes building the background out of nothing, and have done that time and time again. Now, this is very effective. It's only if your machines could do that if they're connected to Creative Cloud. If not, you don't have access to it. You could try it, but that was generative fill. All I did was the marquee tool. Now, notably, here, let me do it again and show you. What I did was I selected and I highlighted, and then I went to generative fill, which is a default that comes up a lot. I click that, and without a prompt, it's going to naturally interpret it itself. But if I do a prompt and say add aliens, it'll probably put in aliens. I don't want to do that though, because I'm just going to have it do the background for today. We'll play more with generative fill in the future, even though I'm sort of morally opposed. That's on there. And then notably, let's look over here. So this comes up here, and let me just make sure layer paths. I should have, okay. It's going to be up here, I think.
So did we just restate this?
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm getting distracted. Let's go ahead, and since you're done, let me turn back on all my layers. Now, I'm done. No, you're not. Let me show you two things. We're going to go file save, right? But now we need to, you're responsible for two different files. We want to go file, export. Okay. File, export. And we're going to say export as. Yes, everybody sees this? File, export as. And then I want to change the format to a JPEG. Mine defaults to PNG, which is another fine file, but JPEG is going to be your best compression for the least amount of space. Where it says format right there at the top, go to JPEG. Now I'm going to say export. It's going to give me a window of what I want to name it and where it's going to. I'm going to select the documents, and then I'm going to call it Tim Allen w101.jpg. I'm happy with that. I'm going to hit export, and now I've exported my JPEG. Great. Now I'm done, right? No. You want all credit? Let me show you the last things you need to do. So let's go back to our module on Canvas. So log back into Canvas, and we're going to go and do two things. First of all, we're going to go to week 1 assignment. It's published here. Let me view as a student because it won't let me do it. We are going to upload. I'm going to click the upload button right here. And this is important. I can click and drag right here. And what I'm going to select is I'm going to go onto I believe it's in my downloads, that's where I saved it correctly. But this is where I'm going to upload my .psd. Okay, so what I would ask all of you to do is go to your Photoshop right now and say Command S. It's going to save your PSD to the most current state. Now upload your PSD to me. So I'm on there. I'm going to say Command Save. Now I'm going to go back here and I'm going to upload my PSD. It's going to upload. And now I'm going to say Submit Assignment. It should have all those layers if you followed along. If not, you could do this the last thing and I could tell you, yes. Week 1 assignment. Click on Week 1 assignment in your canvas and then scroll down and see the little ship right there. You can click. You can also drag and drop. Make sure to save. You want to know where it's saved as? You can click Save As and it'll tell you where it's saved at. It's saved into lesson 1 file. So you can save there. Yeah. I will. What? Okay. You don't have to. Let me tell you right now, I'll happily walk you through all this. I just want to finish this and then I can walk you through all of it. But guess what? I uploaded my PSD. That's important because I won't grade your work if you turn in the JPEG for your assignment. It's got to be the PSD. It needs layers. If you don't have layers, I won't take it. I won't be able to judge it because I'm like, okay, maybe you made it all in AI. But Tim, why'd you make me do a JPEG? Why did you make me do JPEG, Tim? Well, there's a good reason. Because other than submitting an assignment, and the assignment must be the PSD, I'm also going to share your work. Well, I don't want you to share the JPEGs. I want you to share, I don't want you to share the PSDs. I want you to share the JPEGs. So in share your work, I'm going to hit reply. And in the reply, I'm going to go to the image option. I'm going to upload the image. I'm going to go to where did I save it? Documents. I'm going to upload my image and I'm going to hit submit. I'm going to say it's decorative. I'm going to say submit and I'm going to type, hey, what do you all think? And then I'm going to say reply. And then boom. Hey, guess what? I just got 8 points for submitting my image. But in order to get full 10 points, you have to comment I'm going to comment on my own because none of you have anything up yet. I'll comment on yours, but know that comment on at least 2 of your classmates and tell them what you think. Yes. Do you have a question?
Actually.
That's fine.
Okay, is it okay if we upload both the PSD and the JPEG to that one?
To the assignment, that's fine. I need the PSD for the assignment to be judged. Okay.
That's fine if it's both.
So I have the what?
You have the one PSD. Hit submit assignment. There you go. Probably 20 points based off of me watching you do it and knowing you did it. So.
And then you said
Yeah.
to download that one. And you put, what do you think? So how do you?
Okay, so now just to go over it again, you submit your assignment. Now go back to your module. So if you hit home, it'll take you back to the assignment. So you submitted the assignment. Now you need to share your work. So you scroll down. And right there, share your work. Click on share your work. And if you hit reply, and then once you hit reply, there is an option right here, which is add image. Oh yeah, or you can attach, but yeah, you can
This would be insert.
insert works. Yep, insert, and then do image and say upload image. And then you can click and drag, or if you click right there, you can go find your JPEG. I think you saved it to the documents, if I remember correctly. There you go. And say open. And then say submit. And then You can type anything or just hit reply. Hit reply. Great. You posted yours. Now to get full credit, you need to reply to at least 2 other people. You can reply to mine. I'll always put one up and you can reply to mine if no one else has put, but everyone's posting theirs right now. So if you wait,
So now if I wanted to download these, like email
Yes.
them to myself, so I can.
email to them yourself or Google Drive would be it. If you have Gmail, I'd
I
upload
do
them. You can upload them to Google Drive from here. That would be super easy. Yes.
The JPEG.
Yeah.
So I can get that.
Yes.
So save it.
Okay. So in here, go File, Save As. Okay. So it's saving it already to this file here. So it says save. Say okay. Okay. Now go to your click over here. Now if we go to downloads, you go to lesson 1, and click your name.
Yeah.
Okay. And then say upload. Invalid file type. Say wait. Oh, this is sharing your work.
Oh,
Okay, but here, let's share your work while you're here. Click on that one, say upload image. Click here. Let's do your JPEG. Did you make a JPEG? I don't see it. Here, let's wait, before we go cancel, go to Photoshop. And then let's click right here. And say file, export. Maybe went to the documents, this way, export. Export as. Say export. Let's go to the document, say export. We are, okay, replace, now we know it's there. Okay, now go back to there, click here. It's gonna be in the documents. Oh. Interesting. Click back up. Really making it hard. Say cancel for a second. Let's close for a second. Let's scroll down.
Now, this would be the JPEG that
Click
we're
attached.
applying for, right?
Your JPEG is to share your work. Your
Okay.
assignment is your PSD.
Got
All right, there you go. Now say reply. There you go. Great. Yeah, that's fine. Yes. Say wow. Okay. Sorry? Yeah. We're done. The lecture is done, and as long as you don't need any more help, you can leave at any time. Okay. Okay, great. Thank you for asking. What was your name? Okay. Nice to meet you. Okay, anybody else need help with this? Remember, you're sharing the JPEG and you're giving me the PSD.
Okay, so I uploaded it,
Yes.
the JPEG,
Yes.
okay, and I think I submitted the no, the JPEG. I don't know if yes.
Okay, no problem. Click on that. Let's see. You submitted a JPEG. You see it right there.
Okay,
So what we can do is we can, do a new attempt. Bottom. It's at the bottom. New attempt. Now let's say upload.
but I'm not sure where
Okay.
where it is.
It's going to, I know where it is. So scroll down a little bit
On-
on this one. Hit that right there. You click the, yes, click right there. Click it again. Perfect. Now if you go to the downloads, click in the lesson 1. There's your PSD right there. There you go. Now hit submit once it's ready. Okay. It's gonna upload, and now you can say submit assignment. Good. There you go.
It's fine if I submit it both the JPEG and the.
It's fine to submit both. I know this is the learning process. Preview unavailable is fine. We're not. You can't.
Well, no,
preview.
I just said it's gonna show up as 2 because I.
That's totally fine. This is the learning process. It's the first week, and also if you turn in both, every single week, I'm not gonna be mad, as long as I get the, and in fact, if you turn in the JPEG, I'll write you and say, hey, where's the PSD? And so I just don't want you to leave and have the PSD be deleted. Because that's the most important one is the PSD. So you wanna bring it into here?
I did, but it
Yes.
disappeared. I
Okay,
don't see it,
so it's probably,
and I did new.
yeah,
and
you did new?
I-
So if you search for it, it's probably gonna pop up at Gmail. There it is. So it's just sometimes Gmail, like the way it organizes, that's the only problem, but as long as you know you have it, you're good to go. Also, I believe you should be able to download it from Canvas too, but I would always back it up in Gmail
Okay.
personally because
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, we use Canvas here, but
It's horrible.
it's
As we know from last semester,
yeah, right.
that was horrible.
Yeah,
Okay.
right. Okay. Anybody else? Oh, finally, before I end my Zoom here for everybody, I do want to show one more thing. And let's just, yeah. So I'm going to go to home. I'm going to show you. So now there's the quiz is the last thing. You can take it home. You can take it right now. I'm going to take the quiz. And week 1 quiz. I recommend reading though before, but yeah, week 1 quiz. 4, 4, 4, 4. Yeah, you can see that there are 5 questions, multiple ways. How would you reverse the most recent change you made? What is not a way to zoom in? How do you select tools in Photoshop? Which is not the type of an image you can add, open or add in Photoshop? I didn't really talk about that. But basically, any digital image can be brought in. Uploaded images, images from the download. Yeah, I forgot to talk about that, but basically any digital type of image can be brought into Photoshop. I think the wrong answer here, everybody is a frame photo because you like have to scan it.
It's like
And you
physical.
can physically can't put it into your computer, okay? How do you select tools in Photoshop? Make a hidden layer, generate fill, shout really loud for the tool you want, or you click the tools icon next to the shortcut or use a shortcut. I think that's obvious which one. You shout really loud, right? I've been shouting the whole time. No, you click on it, right? Which is not a way to zoom in on an image. The zoom ring on a camera lens, the view menu, the zoom tool, or keyboard shortcuts.
Zooming account.
Yeah, that's the joke answer, right? Because the shortcuts on the, I didn't mention the shortcuts on the keyboard. If you do Command minus is zoom out, Command plus is zoom in. Yeah, just reminding me so much to talk through and figure out. That's why I keep looking at my notes because I don't want to miss any of the important stuff. But yeah, Command plus and minus are also good ways to zoom in and out. And we saw the zoom menu. We could zoom in there, in or out, or the zoom tool. How would you reverse the most recent change you made? Come on, we know that one.
Command Z.
Command Z.
Undo, redo, do, or back. Hey, like I was getting funny there with that one. Command Z is what though? What tool?
The undo tool.
Undo is the answer. I'm giving you all the answers the first quiz, okay? It's not do, okay? And then
We're bad.
number 5, what is not a way to make panels use less space on your screen? Okay, so I did sort of show you this, but look, when we open the brush tool, it made a new panel right here. The new panel opens up this space, okay? So how do I get rid of it? Well, I can close it by exiting out the panel. I can also click and drag and use grouping. And grouping allows me to drag it into this panel. And now we lose this window, but now I have a bunch of tabs over here, right? And I don't lose space. I can hide them. And you can collapse them, or you can group them and dock them. Closing Photoshop will not do that. Yes, and you can hide them as well. So hiding them right here is this arrow right here. So look, this arrow actually hides the space and keeps it out of here, but it still eats up some of your workspace. Yeah.
It's just so funny.
Yeah. It's all areas to play with. Okay. Again, these are all in my notes as well, but that was the quiz. I would submit it. We would get 20 points and we would be done for the week. And we're 1/16 of the way there. So, okay. Questions, comments, or concern? Oh yeah, that is a great question. So now that I want to close Photoshop, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say it one more time. What I'm gonna then do is I'm gonna go Photoshop, and I am going up to where it says Photoshop. I'm gonna say File, and I am going actually to clean up my Photoshop just for assuming there's gonna be someone there. So I'm gonna say Close All. Close All is gonna close all your open projects or tabs. Some of them might want you to save, but if they're all saved, they will automatically close when you go back to the home panel. Now, once we're in the home panel, we're gonna say Photoshop, quit Photoshop. And there it's done. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing. Hey, I'm back. I actually shared this one. And now we're done. I'm gonna stop recording. Okay, if you have any questions, reach out to me during the week. Otherwise, you can also always reach out to me and say, hey, Tim, I would love to play more with Photoshop. I want to come into, this is the biggest thing and the biggest opportunity. Every single day I'm in the TV studio from 2:20 to 5, basically 6. If you want to come and use the facilities, work on your Photoshop at any of those times, I can make it happen 100% from 2:20 to 6 every single day of the week, other than the weekends. If you want to get in at a different time, message me and we'll figure it out. Okay? So
What time did you say? I'm sorry.
2:20 to 5, basically every single day. I have a class. I might be down there, so I might not be able to but you could say, hey, Tim, and I'd be willing to walk out of my class and be like, hey, we can help you, or send a student who might know the answer to help. Okay? Great.